So apparently there's going to be a new Venom movie coming out soon. I guess that means maybe I should do a little video about Venom? Hello everyone and welcome to another character discussion video. Now Venom is typically ranked as being one of Spider-Man's greatest arch-enemies. Today we're going to try and figure out why that is exactly. Well, up until his introduction in the late 80s, most of Spider-Man's villains were still mad scientists and thugs in animal-themed costumes. Now, don't get me wrong, most of them could still be threatening, but the presentation of villains was starting to become as important as their nefarious plans. It was starting to be less about gimmicks and more about how menacing their demeanor was. Comics were continuing to present more serious and mature stories, and gravitating more towards extreme violence and other more serious themes. Venom was kind of at the cusp of this change, right before things became much more extreme in the 90s. Although writers have played with Venom as an anti-hero almost since his inception, I have to confess that I've always thought he worked best as a villain. This was essentially due to Venom being a combination of two different characters. The symbiote alien was actually pretty creepy from the beginning, having latched onto Peter rather invasively, forcing him to do things he didn't want to do, and enhancing his more violent tendencies. The bonding of the symbiote meant that it kind of became a part of Peter, knowing his mind and sharing his experiences, and developing a strange obsession with him. It's disturbing, almost like he's desperate to get Peter's approval, like a mentally unstable former lover or something. That at least seems to be the interpretation that I've noticed in a lot of the comics that I've read. If there ever really is a dispute about what the alien symbiote's real motivation is, maybe that it's just alien and really isn't evil, though I think that is an interesting idea, I do think it kind of cheapens the almost Lovecraftian vibe it gives off. And it's kind of hard to dispute that Eddie Brock is a pretty bad egg. Brock was also obsessed with Spider-Man, gravitating to the idea that he was responsible for his life being ruined. I read an origin of Brock demonstrating that he was kind of always bad, often creating criminal situations and putting other people in danger just to give himself a journalistic edge. I'm all for character development and taking characters in different directions. But Venom just seems to work very well as a sort of anti-Spider-Man. He has all of Spider-Man's powers, and he's stronger. His suit negates the Spidey sense, and he knows the whole secret identity thing. Those early encounters with Mary Jane and Aunt May established how threatening he was. He also eats people, right? He eats people, guys. Unless that's retconned somewhere, I think it's hard to come back from that. Then again, I'm the guy who's overlooked Vegeta's mass murder in Dragon Ball because I liked his development, so different mediums I guess, but I am open-minded. As far as versions outside of the comics, I've always thought they captured Venom very well in the animated series from the 90s. That's pretty much the quintessential Venom, without the murder obviously. He was also really hard in the Spider-Man 2000 video game, very difficult to beat. That guy turned invisible so many times. Frustrating! If you want a more complex version, remaining pretty evil but still more sympathetic and layered, the Spectacular Spider-Man version, inspired by the Ultimate version in a way, was probably the best written I've seen. And by the way, if you guys didn't read Ultimate Spider-Man's run, please do. It's so good. Probably my favorite version of the Spider-Man lore, though I still love the classics. The writing was just amazing. The artwork too. Shame about that ending though. I'll probably be seeing the Tom Hardy version, so you can expect a review pretty shortly. So I'd say expect a review within this next week about the movie. I'm not sure how it will be, but I think it will probably be a step in the right direction. Spider-Man 3 probably gets hated on a little too much, but Venom was easily the weakest part of that movie. Well, that's really all I have to say about Venom. What do you guys think about him? Is he better as a hero or as a villain? Which characters should I discuss next? Let me know in the comments. Oh, if you liked the video, please like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more. If you'd like to have a specific request for a video made, you can go ahead and check out my Patreon and maybe add a little donation so I can keep this channel growing. Alright everybody, thanks for watching. Until next time, stay magical.